Hello, it's Reverend Judy here with a short reflection for Ash Wednesday, this 17th of February. In pre-COVID days, if you were in London on Ash Wednesday, you would see, and I noticed it especially on the tube, you would see many people travelling with a dark cross on their forehead, a cross of ash. And as that mark of ash had been made, they would have heard the words, "Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Turn away from sin and be faithful to Christ." Ash Wednesday is therefore a solemn, a serious day, but it is also a liberating day. Why? Well, because when we turn to Christ in this way, he brings us freedom from the power of sin. He liberates us. Ponder these words that Jesus spoke, recorded in John chapter 8 and verses 34 to 36. Jesus answered them, "Very truly I tell you, everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not have a permanent place in the household. The Son has a place there forever. So if the Son makes you free, you will be free indeed." And I think we can probably all point to times when we have been slaves to sin. That bad habit that we just can't seem to kick, or that attitude that seems so ingrained that we can't leave it behind. That is the power of sin. And sometimes we may think we ought to be able to free ourselves, that we ought to be able to rise above such human traits. But that would be to ignore the frailty of our humanity, that we are dust, and to dust we shall return. So listen to this meditation by Benjamin Buelta of the Society of Jesus. My limitation, once accepted, frees me from the impossible task of achieving perfection. My ambiguity, which pervades everything, then frees me from naivety in relationships and plans. My sin, forgiven, frees me from the pride that raises my heart and eyes over the heads of those around me. My frailty, my fragility admitted, frees me from building my life on self-sufficiency, crushing and vain. My failure acknowledged frees me from the fear of defeat, which suffocates my imagination and freezes the future. So be freed by Christ. Live this day, this Lent, turning away from sin and being faithful to Christ, being loosed from the power of sin and rejoicing in the freedom that Christ gives to you.